clock on the wall says it's 6 p.m., so I'll open the October session of the City of Beavercreek Planning Commission. And we will start with the roll call.
Mr. Ayers is absent. Mr. Height? Nope, I got the wrong list.
He's adjourned me. He didn't take him while I get here.
Oh,
Now let's go for the new list.
There we go. Mr. Diker,
Here.
Mr. Loftus,
Here.
Mr. Meyer,
Here.
Mr. Self.
Here, we are short one member, so I need a motion to excuse.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to motion to excuse Mr. Ayers.
Mr. Chair, I second.
And I have a second, and we'll do that by general consensus. Thank you very much. Agenda approval. Anything new or exciting for this evening that isn't on our current agenda? Okay, I'll need a motion to approve the current agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the agenda from the August 4th Beavercreek Planning Commission meeting.
We're doing tonight's agenda.
Oh, sorry.
That's
agenda
minutes.
Sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
And I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, and we'll do that by general consensus. Okay. Now it's time to approve the minutes. Any additions, corrections, changes, et cetera? Are we good? Gentlemen? I need a motion.
I'll try it this time. Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes from the August 4th, 2021 Beavercreek Planning Commission meeting.
I will second that
And I
motion.
have a second, thank you. And we did not have a September meeting, that's why we're not approving those. General consensus, gentlemen? Okay. Now we can get underway for our long and involved meeting tonight. We do have two cases, both subdivisions.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This first case in front of you this evening is case S21-8. It's the Kumar Final Subdivision. As you can see on the aerial photo right here, there's currently two lots in the area that we're under consideration this evening. The westernmost lot is about 0.3 acres, and this lot, the easternmost lot, is about 1.7 acres. So it's a little over 2 acres in total. And you can see it's on Lance Road. It's the old style where they used to have the property line go all the way out to the center line. So what they're proposing this evening is to go from 2 lots to 3 lots, and each being a little over a ½ acre apiece. So they'll have lot 1, lot 2, and lot 3, and then they're also dedicating about a quarter of an acre as right-of-way, so that we can have right-of-way out on Lance Road as we do traditionally along major thoroughfares. Again, each of the lots, lot 1 will be about 0.55 acres, lot 2 will be about 0.6 acres, and lot 3 will be about 0.6 acres. There's an existing house on the site and an existing shed. And one of the conditions that's not in your staff report, but I'd like to add, condition number 5 is that the shed, because the future property line will be right near it or on it, that the shed will either need to be moved at least 10 feet from the property line or removed prior to releasing any zoning permit for either of the 2 empty lots. That way we ensure that no property line cuts this shed in half, and we don't have we don't want to create a non-conforming situation. But it does meet all the requirements of the zoning, these being R1A, and all the right-of-way requirements in terms of having the appropriate frontage. We did route this out to several different agencies, and each of them recommended approval or approval with conditions. Staff does recommend approval with the 5 conditions in the staff report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Gentlemen, I'll kind of throw this open.
I just had a question. What's the purpose of them doing that? I mean, did they state their kind of end intent?
They're interested in selling.
Just want to sell the two
Yeah.
Okay. It's not to develop, to go down, to touch in with this.
They just want to sell the 2 lots.
Okay,
Yeah.
they just want to sell the lots. And then what about the driveway? Does it meet like the requirements for like edge of, like a boundary area?
There's no setback requirements
There's
for
no
driveways.
setback.
You can pave all the way up to your property line on a
Okay.
driveway.
No, seems pretty easy to me. That's all.
Are there any setback requirements for the house that, from the existing property lines, does it meet based on where the house is versus where the new property line, and is all that going to be within regulation?
Yeah, there's what it is there's a 25-foot side yard setback combination between the 2 side yards, and with this proposed lot, it'll be about 15 feet on one side, about 13 feet on the other. So they'll meet the minimum setbacks for the existing house.
They did a very good job of splitting this so that it meets all the requirements. That probably wasn't easy. My only question is, based on the aerial, there is some actual grass space between the driveway and I guess that would be the north property line.
Are we talking?
No, I'm talking about the driveway going back to the center.
Oh,
in the back.
okay.
But on the drawing, it implies, well, maybe it doesn't. The drawing shows the lot line, but it does not show that flag driveway.
That's not part of this.
Correct.
So they just didn't
understand
include,
that.
they didn't include existing on this
But
driveway, correct?
the lot split does not go all the way up to the edge of the pavement. It does actually leave a grassy area there.
Oh, you're correct, you're
Okay.
correct.
I just wanted
But
to clarify
there's,
that.
yeah, there'll be grassy area. As you see on the other side of the street, there is grassy area between the property line and the pavement. So it'll be
No,
the
no, I
same.
mean between the driveway,
Are you talking over here?
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that because I wasn't sure from the drawing that it actually matched the photograph, but it does. And gentlemen, just so you'll know, that property behind is it's like a conference center.
Meditation center.
Right. So, and we did a lot combination on that some years ago, if my memory serves me.
It was, I think it was a conditional use approval for this house over here so that they can
Yep.
also use it as part of
Exactly.
the extension.
Okay. Okay, gentlemen, further questions? And if not, I need a motion here.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept case number S21-8 with the 5 recommendations.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Let's be formal and read the roll.
Mr. Diker,
Yes.
Mr. Loftus.
Yes.
Mr. Meyer,
Yes.
Mr. Self.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. And we'll move on to our second project this evening.
Yes, this is case S21-9. It's the first section, or the first subdivision, first final subdivision of Sky Crossings. As Planning Commission may recall, earlier this year, there was a rezoning to allow for 146 homes on this entire 80-acre site. And the plan all along was to break it up into 3 phases. And so this subdivision is represents that first phase. They have been clearing out trees over the last couple of weeks. And I did get a picture, I think it was this morning, of the fence line, or the temporary grading fence that was required along this western edge. So they did include that, or install that as required before they start grading. So they haven't started grading yet. But as you can see here, they're looking to do this first subdivision, which is along the eastern edge of the property line. So it'll front on Alpha Bellbrook Road, which will be down here. This is Alpha Bellbrook, and they'll have this access point, and then the street will end on this first section right here. This is where that TEPCO pipeline goes through, so it'll go through up into that point. So what this represents is 38 lots, and 36 of them will be developable. The 2 remaining will be the common area on the north and the common area on the south, and then 36 individual building lots. The lots range from 0.186 acres to 0.4 acres, and meet all the requirements in the subdivision, or in the specific site plan that was approved, as well as the zoning that was approved both this year. Prior to releasing any zoning permits for this, we will be requiring them to pay park fees, and that'll be for the entire first section. And that helps offset the cost for the construction of new parks. So the idea is when you bring new residents in, you need parks for them, and these park fees help cover the acquisition cost for a new park. It doesn't necessarily have to be in this neighborhood, but it can be used in the city. There are 7 conditions in the staff report, and staff does recommend approval of the applicant's request.
Okay, gentlemen, I'll just throw this one open too for, did you want?
Yeah, I will, Mr. Chair, I'll need to recuse myself, but before I do, if they could.
I don't know if you should,
Can't-
if you have to recuse yourself, I don't think you should say much of anything,
Okay.
honestly.
Well,
Yeah.
I can go
Yeah,
dance
you
real
can-
quick if you want.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a public hearing though.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I will talk to you afterwards real quick.
Okay. I would just hate to, any kind of,
Need to go sit down.
Yeah, that's fine.
not to cut you off or anything, but I don't want to.
Yeah, no.
In absence of legal counsel, we'll play it safe.
Right.
Gentlemen, and I do remind you that the rules say that in order for approval, we have to have a majority of planning commission, not majority of those present. So this has to go 3-0 for approval. I'm just make sure you understand that. Fire away.
Yeah, just one question. So I know when we approved this originally, there was like a wetland in the south east corner. Is that lot 1 west of that?
They're going to mitigate that. There's a tiny little bit of the wetland inside that lot 1, so they're going to do EPA required mitigation.
Okay.
No question.
Okay, I've got one or two. The two open spaces, that would be lot 37 and 38. Who will control that? Will that be HOA controlled eventually?
Yeah, there's going to need to be an HOA because that'll be common area, the ponds and the woods and all that'll be HOA controlled.
Okay, but they're not donating park space. They're doing fee in lieu for
Right,
for
it's
all
not
three
a public
sections.
park, it'll just be.
Right, I understand that, but I'm saying just to clarify, they are not donating park space within their plat.
Correct,
They are doing fee in lieu for all 3 sections.
correct.
Okay, but you collect it as the sections develop.
Right.
Got it, okay. I just want to make sure somebody's going to keep an eye on all that vacant land, because that's,
Yeah, there's
like
there'll be
11
a ton of
acres.
landscaping in those areas.
and
that
I
need
know
to be
that
maintained.
a lot of it's wooded, and they'll probably just leave it alone, hopefully.
The wooded area, one would think they would leave it alone.
And none of the houses or none of the lots in this particular section abut R1A, is that correct?
Correct,
Okay, so none of them have to be the half acre.
right.
Okay, just want to make sure that we know that. Gentlemen, further questions? Then I need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve subdivision of Sky Crossing Section 1, S21-9, with the attached 7 conditions.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second.
I'm certainly glad you did, because we seem to have a shortage of commissioners. Okay, let's go ahead and read the roll, just to keep it legal.
Mr. Meyer,
Yes.
Mr. Diker,
Yes.
Mr. Self.
Yes, motion carries 3-0. And we are fresh out of topics for tonight, so I will ask for a motion for adjournment.
Mr. Chair, I move to adjourn.
Thank you. And we are at 6:15. I think this is a new record, gentlemen. Thank you.